Oh, and one other excuse I hate is if I can just get to a bigger town or a bigger city, it will be better because I've worn out my welcome in this town, or I'm just not getting the results. I need to go somewhere else. That is telling you that all you're going to do is repeat the same problems in a new town or have the same issues. What is it? The drum teachers will teach you a rudiment or a groove at a very slow tempo, and it drives you crazy because it's hard to do. When you speed up, you say, well, I can play it better when I speed up. No, you're making the same mistakes when you speed up. They're masked by the tempo.
All right, ladies and gents, gather round, gather round. We got value going once, truth going twice, sold for a song. That's right, folks. Rights signed away, data given away, pennies on the play, publishing gone, credit missing, ownership kiss it goodbye. 50 pages of catch-22s, no dice. You can't eat a like, a follow, or a view. Sold for a song. But wait now, hold your bits, hold your breath. Here comes the truth louder than the bass line. Time to take it back, where the artists rise, the system shakes, and the silence finally breaks.
Welcome to Sold for a Song, the transformative podcast that dissects the music industry's long-standing practice of undervaluing its most essential contributors. Yes, we're talking songwriters and artists. In each episode, we'll delve into the journey of recognizing and elevating the true worth and value of music creators, discover how the industry has exploited creators, and learn actionable strategies to revolutionize this trend and take control of your career. Hello, podcast land. I'm Terrance Sawchuk, but you can call me Terry. After 30 plus years in the trenches of the music industry, trust me, I've seen it all. The highs, the heartbreaks, and the resilience it takes to succeed as a creator. Here's what I've learned. Awakening your self-worth, owning and leveraging your value, and streamlining the process to free up the time we need to do what we most love to do, which is create. That's what stands between you and the freedom we're all chasing. All right, before we dive in, if you believe in empowering artists and redefining what it means to thrive creatively, do me a favor, subscribe, leave a quick review, and share this episode with someone who truly needs it. That one click helps more than you know. And if you want to go deeper, join me at terrancesawchuk.com to be a part of the community and follow all of my endeavors for exclusive content and updates. Hello, Faceland. It has been a minute. I planned to do these weekly, and then life got in the way. So it's been about a month since I've done a podcast episode. So hello, I welcome you all back. Thank you for hanging in there. So what are we going to talk about today? Today I want to talk about something that a lot of artists skip over in trying to, we'll say, get noticed or promote themselves. The question I want to ask is, are you making an effort to get results in your, we'll call it your neighborhood, your actual city, your township, your county, your province or state? The reason I say this is if you can't make something happen in your actual neighborhood, your city, the internet is not really a place to go and get saved. This is a backwards way of saying, where are you at in your development? Is this a hobby? Is this something that you want to put your kids through private school with someday? I'm not saying to focus on money while you're creating art. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, have you tested the waters to see what the reaction is and what the results are? So often I think new artists can often more focused on the t-shirts for the tour, and they haven't written a great song yet. And a great song for them, I mean for themselves. I don't care about the music industry at this point. It's like, are you writing music that you love? And are people reacting to it in your community, at your church, your neighbor's basement, local pub, whatever? What is the effect on the ground where you actually live? I'm more interested in what your actual following and response is from the people around you. I don't mean your mom and your school buddies. People following your music, showing up to every one of your shows. I really personally don't care about likes and comments and followers. For a new artist, I think a great starting point, we'll call it, is what is happening in your actual area. Are you working on making it better in your immediate surroundings? Or are you trying to just make it? And the reason this is so important from my perspective now is because big tech has got everything so dominated that, I mean, you're really just a pawn in the middle of this cesspool of big tech. So it's so important that you build from your street outwards. And this is where you get into you really only need 10 or 100 fans in the world to start having some kind of sustainable momentum. So if you're wondering why you're not getting any streams or follows or likes or comments or whatever you want to call it, it could be something as simple as, is this just a hobby? When put in front of music crowds, are you resonating with people? Is this truly something that you want to do for a living? And I can't remember who said it, but you might play guitar or you might play an instrument and you might sing, but history will determine if you're an artist and, more importantly, if you're entertaining. I have seen so many artists here in Nashville that are just the voice of God when they sing and incredible songwriters. But are they entertainers? I mean, the results in a lot of cases say that they are not entertaining, even though they're such an incredible singer and songwriter, we'll say. So we have to put in those 10,000 hours. And I just think there is not a better place to start than literally in your neighborhood, your city. I remember hearing a story recently from Zach Brown talking about how they started out, and they were playing sports bars kind of in the middle of nowhere in smaller towns. And, they would just take Monday through Wednesday. And their philosophy was, with the club owner, or the bar owner rather, if we can pack it out on a Monday or Tuesday, would you give us a weekend? And the bar owners would start saying, yes, absolutely. At which point they would start earning a share of the door or alcohol and food. And this is what happened. So they started getting lineups down the street. I don't know if they were playing cover songs at this point or maybe a combination of both, but the fact stands that they just went to local places and started playing local sports bars and started building a relationship and turned this into an actual money-making thing where they could hop around from town to town in their region. And this is what started a sustainable routine for them. So while they're getting their chops together, becoming much better entertainers, better songwriters, they're actually becoming better business people at the same time, while getting this feedback, knowing that, hey, maybe we should be doing this for a living. I mean, the results are there. It's not like you just threw some songs out on Spotify with a Hail Mary, wondering why you're not getting any streams. I mean, they're putting the 10,000 hours in and doing it locally. Now, I don't want to confuse this with being a bar band where you're not a traditional artist per se with a, fan base and online presence and sales and radio play or whatever it is. It's a far cry difference from remaining a bar band and being a artist based around original music. So this is an important metric. If they're showing up because they go to that bar anyway, and you just happen to be the entertainment for the night or the weekend, you're not a traditional artist. You're simply the entertainment for that specific venue. Man, if I had $1 for every time somebody sent me a song to find out, what's your opinion? Is it good enough? Should I be doing the? Anybody that's a true lifer, I mean, it's great to get feedback now and again. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but to pause and to wait to see if somebody else is going to give you some kind of validation for you to see if you're an actual artist. I don't know any successful artists that took that route. They just did it. They went out and they did it and just collected the bumps and bruises along the way, and they weren't looking for permission. So when somebody does send me a song or ask my advice, the first thing I want to know is, how is it going in your neighborhood, in your town, in your city? What is the result of you doing all of the work? Because if doing all the work to you means just posting shit up on Spotify and throwing a Hail Mary out there and spending some money on ads and just wondering why your music isn't any good, and you haven't even given it the time to put it in front of an audience time and time again and build that muscle to become an entertainer and a better songwriter, better performer, better musician, better singer. Oh, and one other excuse I hate is if I can just get to a bigger town or a bigger city, it will be better because I've worn out my welcome in this town, or I'm just not getting the results. I need to go somewhere else. That is telling you that all you're going to do is repeat the same problems in a new town or have the same issues. what is it? The drum teachers will teach you a rudiment or a groove at a very slow tempo, and it drives you crazy because it's hard to do. When you speed up, you say, well, I can play it better when I speed up. No, you're making the same mistakes when you speed up. They're masked by the tempo. This also gives you the opportunity to become a better business person, because this is the stage of your career where you still own everything, which is what I sort of condone. If you've read my new book, Sold for a Song, or listened to the podcast, you know that I live, breathe, and eat owning and leveraging your art. So you're selling your own tickets. In a lot of places, clubs or bars, they want you to sell all the tickets and confirm that these people are coming before they take any of the risk. So you are going to earn all or most of the money at this point. Any merch that you sell, any album versions or CD versions. And if you think CDs and albums and cassettes are not selling, you are crazy. Do your homework. There are artists making a bloody fortune selling CDs, cassettes, albums, and people don't even own the players. It's just like a souvenir. There's an old country lyric that goes, if the phone ain't ringing, you'll know it's me. So if you're not getting the feedback, you're not getting the ticket sales, you're not getting the bar owners to call you back, you're not getting a bunch of people running up to you after a show anywhere, it could be in a coffee shop. If you're not getting that kind of feedback, that's important to know. And that's useful knowledge. And it means you got a lot of work to do. That work starts with awakening yourself first as an artist and going deep and being as fearless as you can as an artist. And like I said, this might just be a hobby for you. You might be the next biggest thing, but there is no way around putting in the 10,000 hours. And I highly recommend doing it in your neighborhood, especially in the world that we live in today online and how we are over leveraged from so many different angles. Even more of a reason to take matters into your own hands in your own neighborhood. If today's episode lit a fire in you, don't let it fade. Subscribe to Sold for a Song, leave a review, and be the spark that helps others discover their own worth. And if you're ready to go deeper, my book Sold for a Song, How Music Creators Lost Their Worth and How to Take It Back, and much more are all waiting for you inside my private portal. Visit TerranceSawchuk.com. Let's build this movement together.